Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Game Patrol, our podcast in which Bagel just really wants to eat a burger.
It got here. I want to get it warm, okay?
No one's gonna judge you, man. You go for it. It's all good. But yeah, this is episode 22 of Game Patrol. That's awesome. Trace could not be able to join us today, but Bakel's back and we're ready to go. We're ready to take you guys on a trip. So
Camera's working too.
Yeah, his camera magically started working again.
Yeah, it just did.
It was meant to happen. It was meant. This episode was meant to happen. Just like it is every week. So make sure to be watching.
like it should be.
Make sure to be watching Game Patrol, man, and listening and doing your thing. So anyway, we're gonna get into the games coming this week. There's actually a pretty diverse, pretty cool lineup for this next week. So out today is Cloudpunk for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So this came out on PC in April, and now it's getting a console release. A neon noir story in a rain-drenched cyberpunk metropolis. It's your first night on the job working for the Cloudpunk delivery service. 2 rules: don't miss a delivery, and don't ask what's in the package. So this was a really cool game that came out earlier this year, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. It kind of became a little like small hit, and so if you are into indie cyberpunk, cool artistic games, I know it's a very niche group, but like anything of that sticks out to you, it's coming to consoles today, so you can get that now. Have you heard anything about Cloudpunk, Bakel? Wondering if you heard about it. Okay, yeah, it kind of got a little trending when it came out on PC, but it was never like this huge AAA release.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, nope.
Yep, Cyberpunk is out today. No, I wish, man. We're almost there. Then we have also today, for PC, Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. So this completes the celebration of one of the most beloved real-time strategy franchises with remastered graphics and music, all previously released expansions, and brand new content to enjoy for the very first time. So the Age of Empires franchise is actually pretty fun. I played both of the definitive editions of the other Age of Empires, and so this is something that I'm sure is going to do really well. The Age of Empires franchise does something like a little different, where it has similarities to like Civilization or Total War, but it's really just trying to base things on historical things. Like these are like legitimate. They can be educational games. Where you really learn in a fun and unique way. And it's like, that sounds almost like I'm not playing Ring Fit Adventure for the gameplay, it's because I want to lose weight. Like, I'm not playing Age of Empires for fun. But it actually is fun, and it's actually a really cool game that just also happens to tackle really cool historical times.
Yeah, just like Assassin's Creed 3.
Except Assassin's Creed 3 didn't actually happen, dude. You're wild. So, God, this is my favorite episode ever. And so, another thing that's happening. NHL 21 is coming out on PS4 and Xbox One tomorrow. In EA Sports NHL 21, it's the most creative, inventive, and fearless players that are worth celebrating. Carve your path to superstardom in an expanded Be a Pro mode and go down as one of the league's greatest. On the ice, change up your attack with all new moves, dekes, dangles, and evasive maneuvers inspired by the league's most groundbreaking innovators. Recognize creativity, recognize revolutionary, recognize future. NHL Tomorrow 21. NHL 21. Don't know how I got tomorrow out of that.
What? Yeah,
I don't know. That
not
was
even on the not even
off
on
the
page.
cuff. NHL 21. Recognize greatness. So, yep. This is the NHL game.
Love the word dangles.
Dangles. That's a hockey term.
I don't know what that means, but it's a great word.
It's certainly a hockey term. And it is coming out tomorrow, so if you really like your hockey games, The NHL games used to be a really revered franchise, like really up there with Madden and FIFA. Like they were a big franchise that was heavily regarded, but they've kind of lost popularity the last few years.
Like I played on the GameCube a ton.
Yeah. I think it's just like people kind of hit their limit. I think overall viewership for hockey has went down. I don't know statistics, but I just hear talk of hockey less and less as opposed to basketball and football and stuff. Like I rarely hear people talk about the NHL. It's not nearly as popular as it used to be, and I feel like this is a reflection of that. But they're still fun. And so also tomorrow for Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Race a real-world Mario Kart through your home. Use the Nintendo Switch system to control your kart and watch as it reacts to what's happening in the game as you boost and drift to victory. Your in-home course comes to life on screen with a view from right behind the driver's seat. So,
Did you buy it?
I did not. Because
I was hoping to test it out.
yeah, so basically the reviews came in. They're sort of mixed, kind of like Labo, where it's like, oh, it's really cool and unique. It's just, you know, you can only get so much out of it. I don't know if it's worth too much.
Gimmicky.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the AR Mario Kart that they announced at the 35th anniversary event, so it's coming out, and you can get it for $100.
So someone's streaming my Steam account. Well, like not streaming my Steam account, but playing
Yeah.
Steam.
That's interesting. Hacker mode activated. So, anyway, tomorrow as well, the Jackbox Party Pack 7 is coming out for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. 5 new games: the hit threequel Quiplash 3, the collaborative chaos of The Devil's in the Details, the fierce drawing game Champed Up, the speech game Talking Points, and the guessing game Blather Round. Use phones or tablets as controllers and play with up to 8 players and an audience of 10,000.
Dang.
So, if you haven't heard of the Jackbox Party Pack at this point, come on, man, you got to get out there. It is one of the most fun party games ever, and you don't you can play with a bunch of people, and you don't need all the controllers. You just use your phone, and so you can do whatever. Just get on the internet, and
Sorry if you don't have friends.
it's a pretty sad day, but we'll be your friends. Play Jackbox together. But the newest hit, it's coming out tomorrow.
Please only let us know. We'll totally play Jackbox with you.
Absolutely. Let us know down in the comments below. Ha. So, next game, Tuesday. I'm like, man, this game's coming out already? It's crazy. Amnesia Rebirth for PS4 and PC. This got announced just a few months ago. And so, a new descent into darkness from the creators of the iconic Amnesia series. A harrowing journey through desolation and despair, exploring the limits of human resilience. So, really interesting plot description there. It's a really cool thing that I kind of want to check out because it's Spooktober. But, you know, priorities. But
Yeah.
this is really cool. It's awesome. So if you really love the old Amnesia games, you know, they're back. They are back with a new game out on Tuesday. So now, getting into the gaming news for the week. It's definitely been a lighter week. But that means that we get to talk about some cool stuff that maybe we wouldn't have been able to spotlight in other weeks. So first up, this just got announced yesterday. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has you play both male and female Ivor by default. So in the newest game, as with the past, you could choose a male or a female. And so in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they're both named Ivor. But then it's stated that they both existed. And so they're both canon. And so this gives you the option where the default, instead of picking male or female, you switch between them as benefits the memory according to the Animus. It's called Let the Animus Decide. And so apparently, like, it just picks what the developers thinks are the best, the most fun gender during every moment of the game. So you swap between the two, and they're both canon. Like, it's not like it's messing it up. And so they said there's a story reason why they are both canon. And so it's interesting. It's just, yeah. And then just they came out with a crap ton of preview stuff, promotion stuff yesterday. and it's really getting people excited. And like my hype was super high and then has just been going down for Valhalla steadily, and like this is increasing my interest again because it seems like people are like, it actually might be a lot more innovative than you think, because a lot of people have had that same lukewarm reaction to Valhalla, and so they're like, hey guys, don't sleep on this. This could actually be something special. And so I don't know yet. I'm not gonna pre-order this game. I'm gonna wait and see how it is. But I am interested. I am intrigued.
I'm not.
I know you're not because you're just a hater.
I'm
but
not a hater.
You're a
It's
hater.
a bad game.
It's not a bad game
It's a bad
necessarily.
game.
You don't even know. You don't
Bad
even
game.
know.
It's a bad
You
game.
don't even
It's a
know.
bad game. I know.
No, you don't.
Bad
You haven't
game.
played it.
I don't have to. It's a bad game. Miles Morales is dead.
Okay, Trump.
No, wait.
Wait, Miles Morales.
That's the wrong one.
Oh my gosh, dude, Desmond Miles.
I know.
You're a crackhead. But next up, Sony confirms PS4 to PS5 save transfers and reveals incompatible PS4 games. So this is a pretty big deal because with the whole backwards compatibility thing being a huge deal this gen about people wanting it, they said beforehand that 90% of games, 99% of games are gonna run on PS5. But it's like, okay, well, what ones aren't then? Like, what is this? How many games are we looking at? So they said that the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 games are playable on PS5 consoles. And so even then, it's like, that's not very specific. It sounds bad. But then they released a list of 10 PS4 only games. And so those games are DWVR, Afro Samurai 2 Revenge of the Kuma Volume 1, TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 2, Just Deal With It, Shadow Complex Remastered, Robinson the Journey, We Sing, Hitman Go Definitive Edition, Shadwin, and Joe's Diner. And so one is like, is that the complete list? Like, is this being, these are all the games? But they published it again. Like, it's, maybe this isn't all of them. Maybe this is just a little bit. They didn't really clarify that this was all of the PS4 only games. But it's like, those are mostly small games. Like, we're not losing out on much. It's not like Ghost of Tsushima won't be backwards compatible, or big stuff like that.
That'd be really bad if the last game they released on PS4 wasn't backwards compatible with the PS5.
Yeah. Because they still want you to buy it. Like, that's a legitimate thing. Like, because it's like they still want to drive sales on the PS4 version. So they're like, oh, it's not backwards compatible. You have to get it on the PS4. But no, they actually did confirm that Ghost of Tsushima would have a PS4 mode, or would be backwards compatible. But yeah, so possibly we got a little more information. Again, they've just been super wishy-washy about it all, so it's very confusing. But that's what's going on.
Sounds like Sony.
Yeah. But also, semi-big one here. The Medium, Xbox Series X and S PC exclusive, launches December 10th. And so this is the only Xbox exclusive game that is like this new Xbox exclusive game coming to the Xbox at launch, which it's not directly at launch, but it's a month after. But it's the only one that's being developed only for Series X in mind. It's not handicapped by the 2013 Xbox One. This one is just a true next-gen game, which is, we're going to take a little deeper look at it in a little bit. But yeah, it's coming December 10th. It got delayed a little bit, but it's still hitting that launch window. And so we're going to get that on our hands to really test out next gen, and that's really cool.
Oh yeah.
And so on other news, Outriders has been delayed to February 2nd, 2021 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, PS4, Xbox One, and PC through Steam and Epic. So it's on basically everything. But Outriders is Square Enix's new game. It is developed by People Can Fly, who made Gears of War Judgment and Bulletstorm.
Okay.
So Bulletstorm is a highly regarded shooter. And so this game is basically Mass Effect meets Diablo meets Destiny.
Okay.
And so it seems to be very similar to Destiny in terms of like the squad shooter type of thing. And so I'm really excited for this game. I'm going to get this game. But it was supposed to come out holiday 2020, likely December, but now it's been pushed to February. But yeah, we have an actual release date now, like a firm February 2nd, which is cool. I'm excited for this game.
Put a date on it.
Yeah. And so finally, Final Fantasy XVI has already completed basic development according to I'm trying to see according to a company recruitment page. So basically, Square Enix is hiring people to help finish Final Fantasy XVI. And in that job listing, it says, we have already completed basic development and scenario production and are continuing to create large-scale resources and build boss battles while expanding our various development tools. And so there's no terminology for this in gaming. So when he says basic development, that could mean any number of things. It could be that they just have like, the script, like they know what's going to happen with the story, but now they have to like write all the code and do all this. Like they have everything planned out. Now they just got to make it. 'Cause that's pretty early on. Or it could be like, oh, well, we have the code. We have like a playable state. Now we just need to work on like bugs and enhancements and stuff like that. It's very vague. I think it's more so towards the beginning. Like if people are looking at this and being like, oh, it's going to launch next year. It's not going to happen, especially because of the semi-mixed reaction to Final Fantasy 15. I think they really want to make sure that they take their time on this one and they don't get it wrong. They really want to bring people back into the franchise. So I think this is a big deal for Square. And so I think that it's going to be at least 2022, if not even further.
Yeah.
Because this is a big deal.
For sure.
Because they've satisfied people. They had 15 in 2015, and then the 7 remake this year. And so they have a while to work on this, and like they're also working on part 2 of the 7 remake. So it's like we're good with Final Fantasy for now. Add in some Final Fantasy 14 expansions, and it's there. It's all good. So don't take this as like it's almost done. It's not, but they seem to have it all planned out. Like this is a firm idea. At the very least, we can say that this is not something that is super early on in development. But yeah, so that's the gaming news for the week. And now one of the things I wanted to highlight is the big next gen games this holiday. Whether you're getting a PS5 or a Series X or S, what are the games that are going to truly or are supposed to truly test the system? And so I looked at the 5 confirmed games to launch on a next gen console, but not previous gen, not PS4, not Xbox One, just the new consoles.
Oh, wow.
So they're not held back by less superior hardware.
Exclusive.
Next gen exclusives. So there's actually, because there's not that many. There's only 5, and that's in total. And 4 of them are PlayStation exclusives, and 1 of them is an Xbox exclusive. And only 3 of the 4 PlayStation games are exclusive to PS5. 1 is on PC as well. And so, getting into it, number 1 is Astros Playroom. So, this is the sequel to Astrobot Rescue Mission for PSVR. But this is not VR. It is a pack-in. So it's completely free. It's already pre-installed on the PS5. And it's a fun little adventure with Astro, which this is really cool. I loved Astrobot Rescue Mission. It is one of the best VR games I've ever played. It was like the Mario of VR. And
Wow.
so I'm super excited to be able to play this. And a lot of this game is built around basically showing off what the PS5 can do and like the DualSense. So you use the adaptive triggers and you use the motion controls, you blow on it, you do all sorts of stuff. Literally. So there's a bunch of stuff you can do. And so basically Astro's Playroom is a demo for all of that. We don't know.
Playroom.
Yeah, exactly. And so we don't know how long this is exactly. It's completely free to us, so it's like I don't
Doesn't really
expect it
matter.
to have a ton of length. But yeah, it looks really cool, and I'm excited to jump back into Astro's boots. And so yeah, that's cool. And so
Cool.
yeah, that's showing off the capabilities of next gen. Maybe not on a graphical standpoint, or maybe it could turn out to be a really beautiful game. But like in a technical,
It's Unreal 5.
Unreal 6, bro. Yeah.
That's insane.
Next up though is my personal favorite for the looks department. It's Demon Souls.
Ooh.
I saw the 8-minute gameplay trailer that they released at the PlayStation Showcase.
Was it good?
It was so beautiful. I made you watch it.
Oh yeah, I
It was
watched it.
so
It looked really
beautiful.
good. Yeah, it was really beautiful.
It is an absolutely gorgeous game. This is basically one of the earliest memories I have of consoles, or really just gaming in general, was with the PS3, coincidentally. So it was a PlayStation console. But I was going inside, and I saw my brother-in-law, who's a lot older than me. I was probably like 10 at the time. He was playing Resident Evil 5 on the PS3, and I saw him playing that game, and I was like, that is one of the best looking games I've ever seen, just because of the viscerality of it and the gore, and like there's just a lot of detail entwined with that in the setting. I feel like gritty action games are really some of the best
Yeah, and at that
portrayals
point-
of that.
At that point, what also video games have you seen? Like, what was your like graphical?
I'd seen things like Arkham City and different
pretty good.
things. So like, yeah, a bunch of Wii games. So yeah, it wasn't bad, but like, I did see some games like Tomb Raider and stuff like that. But yeah, then I saw this game, and I was like, that reminds me of that moment of like, holy cow, this is how awesome video games can look. That is nuts. Also, I just started trying to beat Death Stranding again. I started over, and God, that's the most beautiful game. That is the most beautiful game. It really is.
Yeah, I watched my uncle play it. I was just like, wow, this is
It's
just pretty
stunning.
all the time.
It is stunning.
It's just all the time pretty.
And so I think this is them at work again. Like, I know it's not the same people, but it's PlayStation really showing off.
PlayStation likes to make things look pretty.
Yeah. But downside, it is a remake. I mean, this is not a new game. However, it's going to utilize a lot of cool new next gen features, but it's like, how much it, is this really something that's going to be really cool, or is it just going to be? I personally think it's the graphical showcase for the PS5. That's the biggest thing it contributes.
I can't wait to see it.
Next up is Destruction AllStars,
Oh.
which that's a game that exists.
I don't know what the heck that is.
So this is a game that PlayStation has basically said nothing about. They sent it off to die. Like, this is a game that they made, and it's a first-party PlayStation game that they announced a couple months ago and have not said jack squat about since. And so,
Okay.
it is a full-priced $70 game.
What? And they're
that-
not gonna advertise it?
Exactly. And it is basically a vehicular combat multiplayer game. So it's like Rocket League mixed with Call of Duty. Like vehicular combat. So like you race around in Rocket League cars basically and try to destroy each other.
I might be really good at that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought it would be something that you're... But it's a full-priced game.
Like $70?
Yeah,
That's
$70.
Yeah.
No.
Rocket League's free.
To be fair, it is only coming to PS5. So it could be that, they just, they've done some really cool innovations that we just don't know about that only the PS5 can achieve. But I think it's more likely that years ago, PlayStation was like, we really need to rub Xbox's nose in the dirt here. We need to make sure that we have at least some games, just buffer games, is like, hey, we've got an exclusive game here. It doesn't even necessarily need to be that good. And I feel like Destruction All-Stars was that. Because this is one of their lesser known studios. I can't even remember the name. I think it's Lucid Games is the developer, but it's like they don't do anything at PlayStation. So like they just brought them in. They're like, hey, make us a game. Let's ship it. It is interesting that it's $70 though, because then it's like I feel like there has to I feel like there has to be some faith in it then, and that's why I have interest. Is because it's like, is this overpriced or is this actually a hidden gem that they're just not talking about? I don't know. And so
I have a feeling it's not a hidden gem.
I don't know, man.
Just throw that out
It's
there.
a mystery. It's a mystery, and it's one of the
you're
big.
blurry.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, it's the big mystery of the 5. Then next up we have Godfall, which is another PS5 exclusive, but it is also coming to PC for $10 cheaper, which is interesting. But
why?
No idea. It is $60 on PC and $70 on PS5.
Well,
yeah.
Fortunately, PS5 is still going to be better than my PC.
See, but I'm just getting it on PC. Like, I'm getting a PS5, and I am still going to get Godfall on PC because I'm like, it's cheaper. And it's going to look fine. Like, it's not going to look... I have 1080p 144 hertz versus 4K 60, maybe 30. I'm assuming it hits 60. But... so yeah, I'm still doing fine. But Godfall is a potentially innovative shooter, or looter, not shooter, because it's a looter slasher. It's basically Borderlands if it was melee, like melee only. And so
that could be fun.
I looked at a bunch of gameplay for this. This looks like it has the combat of God of War. That's literally what I thought.
What?
Like, it felt like God of War. I was watching this and I was like, that's some God of War-esque combat. Like, so you have different combat abilities. That's what I'm saying. And you can play co-op. Like I said, it's like Borderlands. And so we could be playing basically God of War co-op.
We're definitely going to play this game.
Yeah, I'm getting it for sure. I'm going to play it right at launch. I'm excited.
I got to make sure I get my PS5.
But, well, hopefully they have crossplay. I have to look that up. I would assume so at this point. But, like I said, I'm going to get it on PC. But, the only thing is, it's really hard to do those well. Any grindy game.
Yeah.
You really have to balance that grind and give worth for it. We don't know if it will be cross-platform or cross-play, but we don't know yet. They haven't said anything. But yeah, they're really hard to do well because of being able to balance that. So it's like a lot of times they fall short. There aren't too many grindy games, I think, that really do it right. But it's really difficult to do, and so it'll be interesting to see if Godfall pulls it off or not. So, but yeah, there's your action-adventure game. And then finally, the only Xbox exclusive, it's The Medium. And so The Medium is basically, it's a really cool looking horror game from the makers of Observer, Blair Witch, a bunch of others. And Bickle left. Gonna see if he can come back, maybe. Not really sure. I'm not sure what happened. Well, this is certainly interesting. Well, anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about The Medium. And so hopefully he can come back soon. But yeah, this is a developer that's been making horror games for a while now, and whether you think they're good or not, Observer was received very well, Blair Witch less so. And so his internet just died. Hold on, I'm texting him back. It's all good. Come back if you can. But anyway, so yeah, The Medium is the other big Xbox game, or the only big Xbox game, but it's interesting. It is very interesting that like it could be really good, it could be like whatever, but it's a fun horror game just right in time for Christmas, December 10th. And so but again, it's the only Xbox exclusive that has only been developed for Xbox. Scorn was announced to be a launch game, but they've been silent, so I don't think it's going to hit that launch window. And so it looks like the Medium is the only one that wasn't developed for Xbox One as well. This is taking full capabilities of next gen, and it looks really cool. And so with that, we'll get into the games that we've been playing this week, which might just be me. Control. I finished that game finally. Interesting ending. Interesting. I think it could have been a little better, but I still really love the game. Baldur's Gate 3. I played that. That was pretty dope. Not 100% certain. Admitting him. Hold on. Hello? You good?
Hello.
Awesome. So, yeah, I just finished talking about the Medium, and now we're talking about games.
We're at the end.
Yeah, almost done. It's kind of shorter episode because, again, this was a lighter week, and so I thought we could emphasize some stuff, but, we'll talk more next week. But, yeah, so I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Stadia. This is early access. It definitely is early access. It's very buggy, but overall it's really fun. I enjoy it a lot. I think it's basically just playing a D&D campaign. It literally is Dungeons and Dragons affiliated.
There you go.
And so, it's really, really fun, and it's like Dragon Age a lot, and like just narrative decisions, and you get your party members and everything, and it's just really cool.
Cool.
I've also been playing some more Dead by Daylight on Stadia, which is just so much fun with crowd choice. I figured out this time that, because I streamed it again, and you can actually have them vote on which killer or which survivor you play as. I only thought it was they pick whether you're survivor or killer, and then you do whatever. But they can actually pick which person you play as well. And so I've been utilizing that. And it's been really, really fun. I've been having a blast with this game, especially because of Spooktober. I mean, it's getting in the mood. But, yeah, I really love it a lot. And then I mentioned earlier that I started Death Stranding. Haven't played it very much, but I'm trying to beat it this time because I think it's a really special game for what it's worth. And then I played Steve. I played my boy Steve in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just came out a couple days ago. Tried him out. He is interesting. Like, I would say he's on the level of like Hero in terms of difficulty and luck. And so basically, his big thing is he mines resources, and then depending on the resources will result in how strong he is. And so a very variable Smash fighter who is difficult to do well. He's definitely one that takes some time to master, but he's really cool. But what have you been playing, Bagel?
Well, playing a lot of Rocket League like usual.
Yep.
Top of my list. Hop back on some Grounded. That they added like weight to things.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have to have like spots where it connects to the ground. Otherwise, like let's say you have like a structure and then
It
you
get
build something
blown
off
over
of
or
it.
something?
It can fall down, collapse if there's nothing underneath it.
Whew.
They added weight to it now, which I just noticed. So like I had this big structure that was just kind of floating. There's this one pad I looked at, and it just had like all of it was 89% whatever it said, like stressed or whatever. I was like, oh crap. They added all that, which is cool. I played this really cool game with my uncle. It's I cannot remember what it's called for the life of me, but you're basically an AI. Like you play as an AI and you're telling like somebody in a space station what to do.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you're like a camera and you like float around and she kind of like tells you what to do and you help her out like.
It's like the Turing test.
Kind of, but it's not the Turing test. Like it looks like the
Tacoma?
Turing test. me just look up.
So there was a game from the developers of, I think, Gone Home. They made Tacoma. I might be wrong.
Observation.
Oh, I've heard of that game. Okay.
Yeah, it was really interesting. The graphics weren't the best, but it was very interesting.
Hmm.
It was really fun. Like it was like almost like a. It felt like thriller Portal-esque.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
And so, with that, we're literally out of here. Shortest
Oh, yeah.
episode of Game Patrol ever.
Holy
But it's
cow,
been a
it
short
flew.
week. It's been a short week, but we'll have fun next week. And so, thank you guys for watching. Again, you can follow me at Plumley underscore, or not underscore, Plumley dash Landon on Twitter. PLUMLEY dash LANDON. That's where I talk all about my streams and my schedules and all that fun stuff. And then if you want to go over to Twitch, I'm Pandamaster Twitch. On YouTube, I'm two things of Pandamaster. I'm Pandamaster that has 105 subscribers and Pandamaster that has 48. Because I'm thinking about converting. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking about converting the 48 one into just Game Patrol because that's all I upload here. And so just rebranding it to just Game Patrol. But anyway, find me there on YouTube's if you haven't already. Comment down below. Literally anything you want. We can respond to your comments. Talk about all kinds of stuff.
We'll be interactive.
Exactly. We will be WB Interactive Entertainment. And so we're going to get out of here. Bakel, anything you want to say?
I think you wrapped it up pretty good.
Alrighty. Well,
That's cool.
we'll see you in the future, kiddos.